Hey guys, what's going on? It's Big Pasta 92 here, and we are going to go over a quick grind that is for sure going to be really useful for mages, hunters, warlocks alike in TBC as we grind to get to level 70 here in Classic. We're going to be going over the Slave Pen's solo farm, specifically for mages in this video, but I wanted to make it because this is a video that goes over exactly how you're going to do this with really low gear, right? So a lot of people are going in there, they have their tier 2 sets, tier 2.5 sets. This mage went in with like 2 pieces of tier 1 into Outland that is level 60, like 2 pieces of tier 1, and you know, the rest was just greens and pre-raid stuff. So what I did was I leveled him to 63, I got honored in Hellfire dungeons and as well in the Slave Pen dungeons, got a bunch of gear from the dungeons, but nothing really that came from Classic actually. This is all basically on a fresh tune. And I have very limited consumes. I'm going to be using brilliant wizard oil, brilliant man oil, whichever one it is for the MP5 on the dagger. And then also I have sagefish, the sagefish delight for the extra MP5 there as well. So the way you're going to do this, guys, is, and I'll show you the gear after, you're just going to gem and enchant if you want to enchant, just straight intellect. Just straight intellect through. You want at least 7 or 8k mana to do this farm. The regen isn't really super important as long as you're switching to mage armor. Like, you don't want to gem for MP5 or anything, you just want to gem straight intellect. But it is very important that you are mana efficient during these pulls and you're, you know, constantly using your rank 1s and your max ranks. The spec I use for this is actually a Presence of Mind Blizzard spec, so I can get the instant cast flame strikes off a little bit just to get some damage out. So basically, you know, the pull starts off very simple. You rank 1 Blizzard, excuse me, those first 2 mobs right there in the entry while blinking through this Slave Handler. They're gonna cast Frost Bolts on you, which are hard to avoid. Counterspell them if you can. But if they don't get you, you just keep running straight through. Keep an eye out for the pack of casters right up ahead of you here. It's 2 casters and Serpent Ad. If they're too close, then you might have to slow these mobs and wait for them to go by, because they can pull if they're crossing through here. The other slave handler you don't have to worry about, he's tethered to the slaves. And then you turn the corner up here and you're going to head towards these little crab fuckers. So right when this one aggroes, you blink straight through to the far one, jump turn, rank 1 Cone of Cold to preserve mana. And then you're going to see the other pack over here that you're going to pull with the Counter Strike. So the Counter Strike, you can actually run a little closer over here before you use it, cut that distance a little bit. This is only really my 3rd attempt at it when I got the recording. So I've since cut this time down a lot and gotten much smoother with it. I just wanted to get something up within the first week when I knew a lot of people are going to be trying to attempt this grind. So once you get them around the corner, now you're just stacking them up. You use your rank 1s, and you know, I have a clear cast here that I don't use. If you have a clear cast, obviously use it, get some extra damage in there. But the most important part is getting them into a nice, neat little pack before these ads pat too far that you can't actually pull them down the hallway without pulling the 2 caster mobs to the right. Now, if you do pull those caster mobs, it's okay, you can still complete it. It just gets more difficult from there. So what you're going to want to do right here is try and blink next to the mobs and get a Frost Nova off. I ran too far ahead before I Nova'd, so some might have resisted. No, actually, I guess they didn't. So I got fortunate on that, but that wasn't the way you want to do it either. I actually popped a speed potion here just because I thought for sure there was going to be a runner, but there wasn't. That was a misclick. It wasn't really supposed to go down like that. I usually use that speed potion just to try and get far enough away that I can get a full Evocate off. We're going to try and get some big damage here because they're pretty well clumped up, and the biggest thing that I do is I try and target the one that's furthest in front. The reason being, if you have the Omni CC add-on, you can see the little Blizzard debuff up there, and the front one obviously will fall off first when they walk through the starting range of the Blizzard. So right when that ticks down past 3, you know, all right, well, he's not in range anymore, I have to move. And make sure you're never casting blizzards. I do it a couple times in this video, and I'm actually trying not to, but never ever cast a blizzard and then just stand still and cast another one. Always make sure you're constantly putting space between you and the mobs. That's kind of AoE one-on-one, but it's really important in this farm because if they start to get bunched up and you get overwhelmed, if you don't have a blink up, there's not a lot you can do about it. So we're going to go through the pipes here and take them all the way to the wall. Just making sure you're trying to keep them in as well of a bunched up group as you possibly can. They're gonna start to fray a little bit here in like a straight line and move around the coils, which makes it a little, or move around the vaults rather, the little pipes sticking out of the ground. That makes it a little bit harder to keep them controlled. Just don't get overwhelmed, because at the end of the day, you can rank 1 Blizzard this shit all day. And with mage armor up, you're constantly gonna regen. You really would have to be trying pretty hard to run out of mana if you have mage armor up. Like, you'll always be able to cast a rank 1 blizzard. So just keep trying to work your way around these vaults, get them bunched up better, and then when you come up around the corner back into the hallway, you can get a blink off, get some extra distance, and try and make your mana work. So coming up here, it looks like I'm probably going to have to use a potion. I have a mana gem up, so I probably should use that, but I'll probably end up using the potion, because like I said, this is one of my first, like, 3 attempts. So I was a little bit nervous. But once I got it down, I wanted to get it recorded really, really quick. So just get a little bit more damage in. They're at about 66% here. It's not great on the kill time because we've been doing this for 5 minutes. So once you do more practice and you get more efficient, you're better at packing them up and maximizing on those damage outputs, then you're going to do these a lot faster. A lot faster, and it's going to be easier on your mana. So I actually I used the potion and the gem, it looked like. And still doing pretty low on mana, but I got the freeze off, and we'll evocate here just to try and get a little bit closer. Only problem is without those speed potions off cooldown, I'm only able to get about half of it off. You can do it right next to him if you have another blink ready, or if you have a cold snap ready for the double nova. I did not right here, like I said, early attempts. So then they kind of get a little bit out of control, but I reel them back in here towards the end. So all you have to do is just keep them clustered, guys. Keep them clustered and stay on the move. Don't get frustrated. One thing that I do differently this time around is just make sure I complete the cast a little bit more fully on the blizzard. You'll see I'm cutting a lot of casts like halfway just because I'm getting nervous that I'm giving it distance. But try and get the most out of every single cast. Obviously, if the front mob that you've got targeted there isn't getting ticked anymore, you're going to have to move and you're going to have to reapply it. But there are plenty of times when he's still in the cast range that I'm just kind of cutting the cast early, and I don't need to do that. But this turn right here actually gives you a good opportunity to get them bunched up. The second you blink and they're kind of coming at you in that horizontal line, that's when you can get them into a really nice organized little pack. It makes it a lot easier to keep them controlled throughout the duration of the pull, and it also makes your damage phases a lot more effective. So I probably just used yeah, and right there when they're under the pipes, it's kind of glitchy. Sometimes like 5 or 6 of them run through, so try to take them a little bit wider around than I just did. That's the only part of the pull where resists are like kind of tricky. There's just some buggy pathing. I'm not really sure how to avoid it. If I figure out a way to avoid it, I'll put an updated video in the description. But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, once you've gotten to this point, you just rinse and repeat. I believe I actually pulled a fire, guys, at the end of this pull here. So I just want to get to that part of the video, because I think it's actually a pretty close call. No, it doesn't look like they pulled right there. But yeah, that's basically it. There's no more tips, no more tricks. I just don't want you to have to sit here and watch me go through this whole entire kill phase over and over and over again, because like I said, I wasn't very efficient on the mana end of it. But what you can expect once you've actually gotten the pull done, and they start going a lot slower. Once you get them like sub 10%, they start basically waddling at you. It gets much, much easier. So once you get them all down and you're in your looting phase and all that, you just go back, blink past the initial slave masters, and you guys can see we're getting some pretty fucking fat XP here. Another big no-no, if these fire guys are casting on you, do not stand in this fire. As you can see, it will absolutely crank you. If you have to stand in the fire, make sure you have shields up. Like if you're really getting a lot of damage out and you're about to get some kills, just make sure you have shields up, but more often than not, don't stand in the fire. You can keep kiting these guys. Like if you pull them late, if you pull them by accident when you have the rest of the mobs at like 25%, and then you pull those guys, you can just run away. Like they're going to cast and stand still. They'll never catch you. You can go back the way you came from, or you can kill them. I decided not to because I was just going to get another run in. So that's pretty much it, guys. And I'm going to show you the mage that I did all the work on right now. Just take a quick look at his gear before we start the video. Okay. So yeah, Mana Spark gloves, straight intellect, ZG belt. These are fucking healer pants. Like, and I gemmed for a little bit of MP5 here. Don't do that. Don't do that. I did that before I even thought about actually the right way to approach this. And then you got some tier 2 boots that are pretty good. A couple rings. And then I don't even have trinkets, guys. Like, I literally don't even have trinkets. So then you got, you know, some more dungeon gear from Outland, some greens. This is basically all Outlands gear or ZG. So pretty easy stuff. I'm level 64 now. I was level 63 in that video. The first time I attempted it was at level 60 and 61, obviously, with the vast majority of my gear from Azeroth, which just wasn't good enough. I didn't have the tier 2 set, so I had to grind out a little bit. So this is about the minimum amount of gear. If you don't have those sets from Original Classic, then I definitely try and get something close to this gear. Anywhere between, like, 7,000, 8,000 mana unbuffed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Enough practice and you guys will have it down and you'll be 70 in no time. You can do this on mages, you can do this on hunters, you can do this on warlocks. They're all a little bit different. This guide's really just for mages, but you can look into other guides for that shit as well. It's super, super quick in helping you get to 70 quickly, and then you can worry about all your reputations and all that other stuff. But that's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit me on Twitch. Drop that follow at twitch.tv/bigpasta92. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if you guys want to see anything different. I am looking for new ideas for new content, for new videos. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.